Today we are talking about money mistakes that are costing you if you are making them. Yes, I made a costly mistake. Actually, I've made several costly mistakes the last several weeks. I got this bacon for $2 a pound a couple weeks ago. And our freezer was taped off because of the painting that was going on in our garage for the kitchen remodel. And I didn't have time to cook it up. So I set it on the back porch. Well, it's been sitting on the back porch for like 6 weeks, which I didn't think any big deal about. It has not been over freezing except to maybe get 45, 1 or 2 days. And I knew that if it was frozen, it wouldn't defrost with just 45 degrees. It was not in the sun. It was right next to the back door on the deck. And so,
except we're sort of visible.
Well, that's okay.
Hi, hello, everyone.
So there's my 10 pounds of bacon in the trash this morning. So I got it out. Good. And when I pulled it off the front porch, I thought it was going to be hard as a rock. And I go and unwrap it, and it is not. It's like totally defrosted. And I was like, whoa, what in the world? It didn't smell bad or anything. So I called Mom and I said, man, do I cook it up or do I not? And I just was not sure what to do with it. And so the thing is, Mike's having surgery next week. And we're trying to get the kitchen room remodel finished and all of this. And I was like, food poisoning really isn't something that we want to be dealing with at this
juncture.
At this point of our life. So I made the executive decision to take the $20 or it was $1.87. It was $1.87 a pound. Yeah, I was really disappointed, especially bacon. Bacon is super expensive. But
if it was tofu, it would have been fine.
But I was like, with Mike's surgery coming up, any of us, and even I had thought about also just testing it on Jack to see if it would make him sick. But I didn't. So I made the decision to throw out the bacon.
Because you're a better mom than that.
Okay. No, I'm not really. But then 2 weeks ago, before that, I had another mistake that was $1,500 to $2,000, and that was the microwave cabinet for our new kitchen remodel. And what ended up costing us probably $1,500 to $2,000 could have easily been fixed with two $50 shelves. And we were like, okay, when it was all said and done, we were just shaking our heads. Well, then I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was saying how she paid for her business $2,700 for someone to do some work for her, and it was really shoddy work. And she was really upset because of that. And I was like, you know what? In the big scheme of things, sometimes in business, you just have to write it off as mistakes were made. Now we got to learn. We did that with our business. I don't know how many times. We lost on our first house that we ever owned. We lost $12,000 on it total. We had to write a check for $8,000 for someone to buy our house. We had to pay someone $8,000. Now, we didn't know about short sales back then. We didn't know it probably would have been better for us just to go bankrupt. But we had just started living on a dime, which wasn't called that back then, but we had just started it. And I was like, well, we can't be teaching finances and go bankrupt. I mean, I know some people did, but I just couldn't do that. And so then a couple houses later, we lost $20,000 on that house. The house that we sold when we went to go move to Colorado, we lost $20,000 on that house. We had a car that was given to us but we had to buy a new transmission and a new engine. In the first 3 months we owned the car, it was something like I think it was $5,000 total. It was $3,000 for the transmission and $2,000 for the engine or something like that. And then when our daughter was born, we had medical bills that were horribly, well, I mean, they were expensive to us. When you make $20,000 a year, the medical bills were $12,000.
It was 18
for Flight for Life that wouldn't be paid at all. And so we made the really stupid mistake of putting it on a credit card at 0% interest and paying the entire thing instead of negotiating with the hospital, first of all, for a lower rate to make payments. We just stupidly paid it because we were trying to be, morally on top of things and be upright and pay our bills. They saved our daughter's life. So it's like, okay, but still, we didn't know that hospitals wrote their charges so much higher than what people with cash actually paid at that time. And we had no one to consult with. We had no one to ask or talk to. And so we had no idea. So I want to talk a little bit. Oh, it's Pistol. Hello, our favorite appliance repair guy. So Pistol, you are a hit. Oh my goodness. I told Pistol he needs to start his own YouTube channel.
Yes.
He is like a hit.
But we're jealous. We want to keep you with us.
So what do you do when you make horrible financial mistakes like that? And some of them are in the thousands of dollars and tens of thousands of dollars. And how do you deal with it? So some of those mistakes would be like buying a car with a car loan to where you're having to pay payments and interest, thousands of dollars lost on interest. Paying people to do things like all your home repairs and stuff like that. Paying for convenience things like DoorDash, fast food because you don't have time to cook. Paying for things like college loans without a specific plan, or even if you have a specific plan and it's just stupid for you to get student loans, which pretty much 95% of it is now. Co-signing loans for other people, making financial decisions based on the news, following the crowd with your financial decisions. Assuming it's just the best thing to do financially without actually running the numbers and doing the research.
Because the common knowledge is usually not right.
Yeah.
If everyone's doing it, it's probably the wrong thing.
Paying for fun stuff and paying your first and then your necessities later. So like going on vacation, but you can't pay the water bill. Home equity loans, using your credit cards to buy things. All of those types of things are huge wastes of money for thousands of dollars. All right, so how do you deal with that? Well, here's the thing. You have to realize that these are financial mistakes that you make that you're just going to have to suck it up and say, I messed up. Now I'm going to know better next time, and I'm going to do better next time. You really just have to let it go. I mean, if you need to put on Frozen and sing it as you're going, then you just go right ahead. But I know people all the time who are co-signing loans for things. I've been asked to co-sign loans, and I'm like, nope, I won't even co-sign loans for my own kids. I won't do it.
Well, and what a lot of people don't recognize is co-signing loans isn't saying, oh, this is a great person. I really like her. I'm going to co-sign a loan for her. No, it's saying I am taking responsibility for that loan if they don't pay, and I'm going to happily pay it and not complain about it when they default on it and it comes to me.
So when they default on their car loan, when they default on their house loan, and you're stuck with 2 cars or 2 houses or whatever, you made that choice. You made that decision. And so the best thing that you can do is just to sing, let it go, learn what to do next time. Like with the $2,000 microwave cabinet, next time I'll just say, nope, we ain't doing it. I'm just going to say no, because I will know better and I'm not going to have something like that happen again. Now,
well, and the thing is, you don't want to make any more mistakes than you have to make, especially when you're doing dumb financial things. But there are things in life where you don't really know for sure. You either don't know it and you stupidly walk into it without realizing it, or you try something, like with the business. Sometimes we would try something and it wouldn't work out. Or like when we paid the medical bill on the credit card, we thought we were doing the right thing by transferring it there so we get a better rate, so it would cost us less to pay it off. What we didn't know until a family member had the similar situation is that they didn't ask the hospital. The hospital just wrote off their bill because the hospital knew they didn't make very much money. And we realized, and so it was unfortunate. And we did what we thought was responsible at the time. But sometimes it's mistakes help you learn and you become better in the future. You don't want to make them intentionally, but if you make seemingly smart decisions and you have a mistake, right? And if you make a dumb mistake, but then you learn something and you realize that was dumb, then that can turn you around completely. So we've had people on here who've said, my car loan or my college debt or whatever was eating me alive. And then I heard what you said and I turned everything around and decided not to live that way anymore. So in that case, their bad decision kind of turned into a learning thing that was a blessing in the end. Right? Yep. Yeah.
All right. Post your comments, guys, and post your questions, guys, and we will get to your comments and questions here in just a second. So the biggest thing that you can do is to give yourself a little bit of grace and give yourself a little bit of wiggle room to make mistakes. You know, we made all those mistakes that we listed, and I know that's not all of them, but the thing is, I just tell myself, okay, we messed up with this thousands of dollars, but I have saved myself probably $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year over people who have car payments, student loans, home equity loans, eating out, all their debts that they're paying, and all those kinds of things. So I just give myself comfort by saying, you know, I've saved all this money by not doing these things, shopping at thrift stores, all that kind of stuff. And so you just have to give yourself a little bit of credit that you made a mistake, move on, and you're going to learn better next time. You know, and also one other thing, while Mike's getting your comments and questions pulled to send to me, one other thing is, don't listen to people who are giving you financial advice that aren't better off than you. If someone is giving you financial advice and they don't have as much money as you do, or they don't have their bills paid off, if they have debt, if they have car payments, car loans, whatever you want to call it, if they have credit card debt, if they have any kind of student loans, anything like that, do not take financial advice from those people. You know, if we would have listened to financial advice from some people, we would not be where we are today. And so make sure that the financial advice you're getting is actually from people who are truly better off than you.
And there are lots of people who aren't, but they'll be wanting to give you advice. And at some point, it's good to find out, well, what exactly is your situation? Yeah. Because we found people that were advising us, trying to advise us, had a lot worse situation than us.
Yeah. Okay. Mike's sending me the comments, guys. This video is brought to you by Dining on a Dime cookbooks, 25% off right now, volume 1 and volume 2, and then our gluten-free, dairy-free edition. You can save money on your grocery bill with the first trip to the grocery store using our books. And they are 25% off right now. Mike doesn't have the graphic there, but it's livingonadime.com that you can get them at. You can also follow the link in the description below. Okay, did you send me those first comments?
Not yet, but here.
Oh.
Poof. There you go.
Poof.
Do you want me to leave that on or just switch it back and forth?
There you go. That's where you can just leave it on. Okay, let me see if my email is catching up.
I haven't sent it to you yet.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
You asked me to send it and then I was checking. Yeah.
And also, when you're making financial decisions, make sure you and your spouse are on the same page. If you're not on the same page, then I would put off making that decision. Maybe there's a few times where you would need to make it without talking to your better half, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I would say would maybe a hospital visit or something, I guess, possibly, but yeah, I don't know.
We've also found out that it's funny because the common knowledge says, go get a college degree, you're going to need it. But the reality is a lot of people don't really need it for their jobs. And I used to hire people at one of the jobs where I was, and we valued experience more than a college degree. And in fact, the college degree was sometimes useful to get the first job. And after that, nobody cared anymore. But what people underestimate is the value of education as you go. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, if you're trying to do some kind of a business thing and you think, wow, it would be great if we knew how to do this. If you kind of study this group and find out if they know what they're talking about, it might be good to take some of their training. So, but those are the kinds of things where, sometimes you'll make a decision and it'll seem like a failure, but then it'll benefit you later. Or maybe 5 decisions will be, 3 of them will be great, 2 not so great.
Yeah. And Connie says it's always better to sleep on it when making a big decision. Yeah, that's true too. Kathy, hopefully we learn from our mistakes. One thing for sure, we all make them. Sometimes we think it's a mistake when it's a blessing. Now that is another point, actually. Sometimes you think you made a huge mistake and then you realize, okay, thank you, Lord, for pointing me in that direction, because you would have never known if you would have done it. But yeah. Kristen, hello, Tara, Mike, and Jill, loving your cookbooks. Oh, thanks. Finally figured out my 10 favorite recipes for summer to rotate through, and I'm just refilling the pantry. This was a great idea. Thank you so much. You are so welcome. That is how we do it. If you need menu ideas, guys, we have them right here in our book. Also, go to livingonadime.com and type in what's the keyword we're using on the website now? Is it meal plans or menu?
Meal plans.
Meal plans.
People don't like menus,
meal
but
plans.
they're the same.
Jolene, hello. I made your meatloaf recipe last night from volume 1 right here. Yep, that's my recipe I developed when, 1996, I think. Volume 1, insanely delicious. We ate almost the entire loaf. Yes, my family eats the entire loaf at once when we make that. And they absolutely love it. Nancy, can't imagine messing up too much. My planning skills are amazing. Thank you, Nancy, for your faith, but my planning skills stink. Actually, I was dealing with some things with Mike's brilliant idea today, and I was like, did not plan this the way I thought I would plan it. I was looking to make some videos. I'm planning the kitchen remodel videos. I've got 4 or 5 videos that I'm planning. I was looking at how other people did it. And I was like, I don't think this is going to turn out like I'm thinking it's going to turn out. I can't say a whole lot without revealing Mike's brilliant idea. But as I was looking at other people's videos on Mike's brilliant idea, I wasn't so sure my brilliant idea for Mike's brilliant idea was such a brilliant idea.
Yes.
Tana, hello from Afton, Wyoming. I have been loving all of the Wyoming memes you've been sending. You guys, If you don't live in Wyoming, you do not know what snow is, even in Wisconsin and Michigan at this point. Wyoming has blown everyone out of the water, I think. Oh my goodness. Casper got some ridiculous amount, like 3 or 4 feet or something yesterday. And Casper has beat the record for all time and for daily snow amount. And the snow's not going away. Just not going away. It's supposed to be 70 next week. Mike's having his knee surgery on Tuesday. Wednesday is supposed to be 70. And I was like, man, do we need to get sandbags for Mom's backyard in case it floods before?
She has a big steep hill in the backyard.
Yeah. So I don't know. She's insisting she doesn't need it, but we'll see. Esther says, hopefully if you make financial mistakes, you learn from them and don't do it again. Yep. Louise, I got boneless skinless chicken breast for 99 cents a pound and hamburger for $1.99. That is great. My friend Kimmy at She's in Her Apron is going to be doing a video on how to fill your freezer for less than $2 a pound in the next few days. So be watching for that video. Now she has to make it.
Yes.
See what I did there, Kimmy? Grandma's so happy my parents would never co-sign. Yeah, I won't co-sign a loan for not even my kids. I just won't. This is
well, because we don't even get debt for ourselves. We're not going to sign it for someone else.
Yeah. If I don't get debt myself, why would I be okay with someone else in my family getting debt? I wouldn't. Mackie says, Makey, that is so true. Sometimes I needed to fall flat on my face to learn that, but you learn. Yep. Pistol, our favorite appliance guy, says school and real life are backwards of each other. Study first, test after versus test first, study later. That's so true, isn't it? Oh my goodness. I'm a test first kind of a person. Would you agree with that?
The test first for which things?
Test first and learn later.
Yeah. Tara's a ready, fire, aim person.
I am.
But she's a ready, fire, aim person that shoots off 300 rounds, so something's bound to hit somewhere. Those are good analogies, right?
Now, I did fairly well at the shooting range.
Well, yes, you did.
Thank you.
Well, actually, she did there. But I'm speaking figuratively in life. I'll tend to think about it so much that I won't do it. Tara will just do it, not even think about it, and then we kind of roll through the solution as we go, which actually works out pretty well.
I was going to say, like 99% of the time, it comes out okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Much to everyone's pain and suffering along the way.
Yeah.
Nancy says people need to learn to say no to themselves. Also, many so-called needs are actually wants. Yes, they are. Can you see me the next one? Linda says she's paying off her car this month. $275 left to go. You go, girl. That is great. And Erin says, is it better to shop at thrift stores than what? I mean, I would say yes, but it depends on the thrift store. So like we were in Rapid City, South Dakota this weekend, and we went with some friends, and my friend and I went to the thrift stores in blizzarding conditions, almost killed us, which was really stupid, but we did. And their prices were crazy expensive compared to the prices here. I would have never, I would not have any thrift store hauls if I lived in Rapid City, because we didn't go to Goodwill, but we went to 3 thrift stores. And I mean, I saw lots of cute things, but I didn't find anything I could live without for the price. And for those of you wondering, the reason why that store is going out of business, they've been in business for 42 years. So they must have been doing something right. But the guy died who owned it. And so that's why they were going out of business. So their prices must not have been too bad for Rapid City, I guess. But I don't know. Mickey says, I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name. But she says, would you recommend moving to the States from Europe? Well, I don't know. I mean, that just depends. Why are you moving here? I would say if you want to, then go ahead. I would say you will probably be financially better off if you move here at the moment, but I don't know how long that's going to stay that way. So it would just depend on your reasons for moving and, you know, your financial financial status and that type of thing. So I can't really say if it would be better to move to the United States than Europe. So Sandy says we are in need of a new roof. Estimate is coming in at $24,000, $5,000 down, $200 a month at no APR. Okay. Well, first of all, did you check with your insurance company to make sure that they're not going to cover the new roof? They may not. They may not. But if you've had any sort of hail damage, wind damage, anything, your insurance company might cover all or part of it. So first of all, make sure on that.
Well, also, is it leaking, or did the people that come out to get the job tell you it needs to be replaced?
Like if you're having massive leaks, that's one thing.
But if Joe's roofing company comes to your house and says, wow, it looks like you want us to inspect your roof for you, and they go up there and they say, oh, it's a terrible shit, it needs all this stuff, I wouldn't just go with that. The other thing is, even if you know the roof's not in great shape, but it's not leaking or doing anything like that yet, you can wait a little longer for either to save up the money or have an opportunity. Because what we found is
get a second job, save up the money.
There was one time where we were putting it off because we didn't have the money, and then a massive hailstorm came through, and they were replacing roofs for everybody because it took a lot of damage from the hail. So unless you have a reason to believe that it's definitely leaking.
Do you remember how much the last one was at Mead? How much was it? Because $24,000, that seems awful expensive.
She says it's a steep. She said in another comment, somebody else, that it was a very steep pitch roof, like your one in Kansas. So those
it'd have to be really steep, because that still seems really expensive. So first of all, make sure you get more than one estimate. Don't necessarily go with the cheapest one, but make sure your insurance won't cover it and that you get more than one estimate. And I mean, you may have to do that for a loan if it's just leaking horribly and your rest of your house is going to be ruined. But
you really don't want to have leaks. But a lot of times people just replace the roof, and this may not be you, but a lot of times people just replace the roof because somebody told them it needs to be replaced. And in that case, it's good to say, it's kind of like when you're going to need to get tires pretty soon, but you don't drive very much, and you don't have a lot of money, and the tires are okay, but they're not great, and winter's coming in 6 months. You can think to yourself, yeah, probably sometime I need to be thinking about getting some new tires, but not today.
Let's start saving to get them.
Yeah. And so the same with the roof, especially being a lot more expensive. And also, if you haven't already, if you do need a new roof, like say it's just leaking like crazy, or something's wrong, because I was able to easily patch a couple of things at one point before I actually just re-roofed it. But if you do know for sure that it seriously needs to be replaced, you might, if you haven't already, check more than one company too. Because sometimes one company is the Cadillac company that they have really good marketing and they'll make it sound really great. And then some other company is just the regular roofer out there working hard, but not knowing how to market it. And he might sell it for a lot. He might offer you a lot less. Yeah. So, and another thing I was going to mention, actually, now that this comes up, roofing, especially on that's something that most people aren't going to want to do, but there are a lot of things that people pay other people to do.
Yeah, how many roofs did you and my brother redo? My brother and Mike did. I don't know how many roofs themselves.
We did 4 or 5 altogether, I think. But I also just patched one. One time there was something happened near the top, so I just took off enough of the shingles to come down there and fix it from there up, because that roof didn't need to be replaced.
Yeah.
So it's really not that hard. It's just mainly, there's the risk of falling off if you don't know, if you're not being careful and stuff like that. But like with YouTube. But what I would say is roofs, maybe people don't want to do, but let's say you have a leaking sink at your house. You can certainly pay a plumber to come out, but I think most people would just pay a plumber to come out and spend a couple $100. And if you're just replacing like a gas, most of the time, if it's leaking, if it won't turn off, it's a little gasket. You can go get it at Home Depot for like $3 and put it in yourself. And there are videos on YouTube to do that. There's so many things like a light, or Again, some people are afraid of electric stuff and you have to be super careful that you know what you're doing. But like changing a light switch or a plug or something like that, pretty easy things, but you have to pay a fortune to have someone else do it. And then there are lots of other things like a sprinkler head. People will pay a lot of money. And if you can get to where on some of that stuff, if you don't have a lot of money to do it, if you do it yourself, you'd save a ton of money. And we've learned that. Now, there's a certain point where if you make a lot of money, say you make $300 an hour at your job, and you just don't have time to change the sprinkler head, well, it's probably worth paying somebody.
Yep.
But most people aren't that person.
Always be prepared. Happy Easter to all. Happy Easter to you too.
Yes, happy Easter.
Una says, new watcher, any recommendations for older videos to watch from this channel? Older single lady trying to live on a dime. Any favorites? Oh, brother. I don't know. I mean, you could go to videos and then search by popular and see what our most popular videos
How about
are.
Thanksgiving on Fire?
No, it's Easter. She doesn't want to be watching the Thanksgiving video.
Oh, hey, there's an Easter egg dying one, and I heard a voice on it the other day that wasn't you.
I know.
I should send it to her so she can remember that she was a star. Our daughter.
And I don't know. Guys, comment and let me know, or comment if there's some favorite videos that you could help her out with. Deborah, unfortunately, some advice comes from places of hard lessons learned. That's where mine come from. Yep. Edith, does it cost more to cook gluten-free? I am thinking of needing gluten-free for my stomach issues, but it's not a factor. So our gluten-free, dairy-free cookbook right here is the cookbook you need for that. 25% off right now. Everything's been tested. Now, let me tell you about stomach issues. Should I give them the down and dirty?
Sure, I guess.
So this weekend we went to Rapid City, and I've been gluten-free, dairy-free for, oh my goodness, I don't know how long. It was the Andover house when I first did it. So 2010.
We moved from there in 11, yeah.
2010. So how long? Oh my goodness, has it been that long? 13 years now.
You're ancient, dear.
So I got really sick to my stomach this weekend when we were in Rapid City, like horribly sick. Like we were not even 2 blocks from the house. And I was like, oh man, I'm getting horrible stomach cramps. And so we went ahead and went and everything, but I was horridly sick all weekend. Started feeling better literally on the drive home. Like that day I was like, oh man, I'm finally feeling better. And could eat something without making me sick again. And got home, had some dinner, and the next morning I woke up sicker than a dog again. I was like, what in the world? Well, I had inadvertently ate some, I love liverwurst. I know, I'm one of those people. But I had got some that I've eaten for years. Well, come to find out, it has gluten in it, and I didn't know it. So it does not cost a lot of money, but it is very much worth it if you need to go gluten-free. Don't worry about it. My grocery bill did not go up at all with eating gluten-free. It didn't. And so don't worry about it. We just use simpler things like we eat rice or potatoes instead of biscuits. I do buy gluten-free toast at the moment, but normally I make it. The recipe in here is really delicious and actually very easy if you follow the recipe exactly. Follow the recipe exactly, okay?
It is funny because gluten-free, if you go buy the prepackaged stuff at the store, then it costs a fortune. And everybody thinks that's how much it's always going to cost. And if you go to a restaurant, it's the same way.
Yeah.
But there's so much you can eat that's gluten-free that costs the same price as regular food, as anything else you would eat. So
I was just sad this weekend that if I was going to gluten poison myself, that it wasn't a cinnamon roll instead of liverwurst. Yeah. I like liver, not that much to poison myself with it. Robin says, I've had people want me to feel bad because we are financially stable and they are not. Like it's our fault. Yeah, I know. Tell me about that. Believe me. Grandma's so happy. My youngest just got a good job and doesn't have a college degree. Yeah. I have a college degree. Mike doesn't. And we make 10 times the amount that he did ever with his college degree ever.
And I was in charge of the whole department.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nancy, from working at a bank for 30 years, believe me, you do not want to co-sign a loan with anyone. Yeah. Carrie, couldn't agree more. I have a broke friend that makes fun of me for trying to pay off my mortgage early. I just block out all the criticism and keep making extra payments. You go, girl. You go. Don't listen to them. Haley says she loves our cookbook. Thank you. She made the cinnamon puff bread right here, volume 1. And it didn't really puff. Was it supposed to rise? Yes, it does rise. So I can't remember what the leavening is in there. Is it eggs or is it baking powder? I can't remember. Let me check and see real quick. Page 122. I'm going to look. 122. It is. Okay. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Butter, eggs. Yeah, I should have puffed. Why didn't it puff? That's weird. Because it's eggs. Are you sure you had your temperature at 400 degrees? That's really strange. It's like a German pancake is what it's like, but I don't know. I'm sorry. Fab Chick.
We need more information.
Have mercy on us. What is Mike's brilliant idea? Do we tell him, dear?
You should tell him. I'm advocating for you.
Actually, I think.
Wow, if she just suddenly spills it, I'm going to have a heart attack right here.
You want to know what it is? I don't know. I don't think they want to know what it is bad enough. We've only got 900
Are you
people
going to
on
just
here.
tease them? Come on.
Actually, Mike's brilliant idea could be finished tonight. And so I could be using it tomorrow, even without the kitchen, possibly. But yeah. Rosa says Mike's brilliant idea had better live up to all this buildup. No kidding. I'm thinking the same thing. As I'm watching other videos that are Mike's brilliant idea videos, I'm like, I hope I can do this. I don't know. I watched one video that had almost 1 million views today, and I was like, oh, maybe Mike's brilliant idea will be more brilliant than I thought it was. Tanya, I'm so sorry. Offering my condolences for spring, you guys. Thanks. Our contractors today said that they're having faith and they're putting up the snow plowing equipment today. I was like, wow, that's a lot of faith.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of knee surgery are you having?
I have a meniscus tear in my knee, and it's been that way for a while, but it's taken a long time for them to figure it out. So
yeah,
I'm
glad
to be getting it done.
Once you get those sent, can you go turn down the heat? Now I'm like about ready to pass out.
Yes.
Bandana Grandma says she knows and her lips are sealed. Yes. Thank you, Bandana Grandma and Kimmy, for not blowing Mike's brilliant idea. What news broadcast do we trust the most? Miranda wants to know. We don't watch the news. Pretty much I would say Australian Sky News. Is that what it's called? I would say
probably more accurate.
Probably the Australian Sky News. There's something with a 1 on it. They were pretty good. But guys, we
don't watch the news very much because almost all of it is tabloid now. Almost all of it everywhere is tabloid. And so there will be times where we'll read some stuff from various news sources and try to figure out from what they say what the truth is, but they don't even really report the truth. They're just reporting whatever they want you to believe. So yeah, that's been an issue. Oh, sorry. Turn the.
Actually, if you could just a little bit. Esther says, my parents had a tree limb fall on their house and it wasn't a lot of damage, but the homeowners insurance paid for a whole new roof. Yeah, we had something similar to that happen one time. It wasn't a tree limb. It was a hailstorm, I think is what it was. Was that the one? I can't remember. But I remember thinking, oh, they're not going to do anything. And somebody was like, no, you need to call and just make sure. So we called and we ended up getting a whole new roof. And I thought they weren't going to cover anything. So Sharon's in Florida tonight. Hello. Our friends in Colorado are trying to get us to move to Florida. Ain't going to happen, but we still love them anyway. You know who you are. Chrissy, right now my son is learning while on the job building computers. Good. Yeah, that's great. Linda, live in Jersey. No snow this year. Devastated. Everyone needs one snow day a year. Oh, wow. How could you have no snow? That is crazy. Una, you guys have such amazing websites, so many free resources, and inspire frugal living. Thank you. Yeah, guys, go to livingonadime.com. We have so much free stuff on there. You would just be shocked. I mean, we have free recipes. We have free meal plans. We have free printables. We have all kinds of stuff. So, Barbara, wow, Kimmy is doing a video on stocking a fridge and freezer and the how-tos. Right on. She is now. Okay, I hope I don't get in trouble with Kimmy.
She'll be calling you tonight. Or you'll be calling her.
You think she's going to get mad at me?
We'll be out in the garage cutting wood. Yeah.
Tara, don't be blowing it. But see, Kimmy, I'm bringing you viewers because Kimmy has a new product. And I told her, you got to do a video on your freezer to promote your new product because I got a sneak peek today and it's pretty stinking cool. Yeah. That can be her quote on the back. Tara Killam, living on a dime. This thing is pretty stinking cool.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Terry. Hello from North Carolina, 81 degrees here. I'm sorry, I could not handle that. Pistol, our favorite appliance guy, says we caught some stellar thrift store deals in Billings when we passed through this weekend. I am headed to Billings in a couple of weeks, and Mom and I are going to try it out and see what we can find there because, wow, Rapid City was a huge bomb. Well, actually, it's probably going to have to be 5 or 6 weeks because we're going to Colorado in a few weeks. So probably have to do that first. Just Vicky. Can't beat a good day thrifting for a big dose of fun. Yes, I'm glad you guys are liking those videos. I didn't know if they would do very well or not, but you guys are watching them. So thank you. I'm glad you're liking them. Single guy, simple life. Thrift stores are starting to be like eBay prices. Some of them are. I know. I'll be surprised because we're gonna hit some when we go to Colorado and see how they've changed in the 2 years since we've been gone.
Pistol's heading out.
Oh, bye, Pistol.
We'll see you tomorrow. No, just kidding.
Oh yeah, we probably will. We'll see you tomorrow. Pistol happens to be our neighbor also. We did not know that, and so I thought that was pretty cool. Cindy, hope you're getting physical therapy next week rather than waiting. Oh, I'll physical therapy him. All right. Do I need to get a cute little outfit for that? So that
that would be perfect. I would recover real quickly.
Diane, I learned the hard way that usually a mistake to make changes to renovation projects once it's been planned. I always second guess myself and regret my changes. Well, okay, so part of this was we've never done a kitchen remodel before, so we really had no idea what we were doing. And I had plans for the kitchen. As a matter of fact, I had 3 sets of plans drawn up. 2 were Mark Tobin Kitchen Design. Go check them out, guys. They were really good plans. I did a couple of videos with him, but he did me a couple. But then after those, some things weren't working. So I had someone come out and actually measure and do plans. And it still didn't work. And then, yeah. So then by that point, I went in and I spent I was just racking my brain because we still did not have plans and the contractors were coming. So for 2 weeks, I just sat there and stared at the kitchen and my family thought I was nuts. And we did. And I was just like, okay, let's see. This will go there. This will go there. So then I took and made measurements and put Post-it notes on all of the kitchen cabinets of what measured where and where it would fit on my little notes. And still it didn't work when they got here. We had some issues. And so part of it is just a learning experience. And we didn't know. But Elizabeth, get estimates from a recommended subs. Yeah. From a reliable licensed contractor. Yeah. Nancy, we have a big house. A new roof last year was $11,000. But due to hail damage, we only paid $1,000 for our deductible. $24,000 sounds really high. I know. Even for a steep house. I think our friends out of Goshen did, or was that them? No, I don't think it was them. I don't know. Somebody that I heard who had just done their roof, and it was a crazy roof of some sort, It still was only 15,000.
Out of Goshen has that
they have a geodesic dome,
which would be really hard.
I think theirs had to have been like 30,000 or something. I don't know if they actually told us how much they were. I think I'm thinking of somebody else, but I can't remember who it is. But anyway, yeah. Grandma's so happy. My daughter and I have done all our electrical. Yeah, Mike did all of our electrical too.
Well, and on the roof thing, I know a lot of people aren't going to want to do it or necessarily be able to, and you'd have to be careful be sure that you're safe for yourself. But on the roof, there was a point where we were not making very much money, and there was was it a hailstorm that hit the roof? And what was the deal with the Jeanette house?
It must have been hail. I don't think anything else happened.
I think it was a huge hailstorm, and they gave us the money to do it. And we were like, wow, that's expensive to do a roof. I can't believe that. And this was when I had first learned to do it. But Tara said, well, my brother used to do roofs. And I talked to him, and we did some research. And so I called the insurance company and said, hey, what if we roof it ourselves? Like, can we keep the money? And they said, you can keep the money, but if you don't hire a contractor, then you have to give us the receipts for the shingles and supplies, an invoice that you say is what it took for your time, and then we won't pay you the extra. Like when the project is done for a contractor, they give them a little more. But we went ahead and did it because in those days we didn't have very much money, and I think we ended up getting like $3,000 or something it was grueling work for a weekend in the August heat in Kansas, but still it was definitely worth the price, especially since I was able to do it. And yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and send me the next ones. DH says the clothes washer sounded like it had bricks in it and banged really bad. That's probably what Pistol was talking about in the videos. I watched YouTube video and ordered springs today for $6.04. It's easy fix. 3 screws had to be removed. Yeah, a lot of that stuff you can fix yourself. Esther says she would recommend watching the Penny Pitching Mama series from Living on a Dime. Yeah, that's really good. Although that's the series that totally ruined our channel. We were just talking about that today. That was probably our biggest mistake as YouTubers, was doing that series.
Well, it would have been better to do it on a separate channel.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about our channel today and how we're going to be going about doing videos, and you're like, man, if we would have never done that series, we would have been fine.
Well, and if you haven't ever heard Tara talk about that before, the reason why is because YouTube looks at kind of what people are watching and a little bit about the content and tries to understand what the channel's about. But if you do too many different things, it gets confused.
Yep.
And that was the one that kind of steered everything in the different direction.
You should have never been Living on a Dime. Michelle, the turkey on fire video is entertaining. Classic moment. Thank you. Yes. Jim, you guys could make snow families for Easter. Oh, yeah. Like right out this door here, there's a 4-foot pile of snow. I'm not kidding. I saw somebody that said they're going to take and just make white eggs and just throw them out in the snow and say, okay, good luck, kids.
Look at this. Look who's here.
Golly! Oh,
are they in Florida now?
No. She says Florida is calling our name.
Hi, Golly. Here's a hug. Give one to Fareed. That's awesome. It's great to see y'all on.
Guys, they're the ones. Tell Golly how much you love the planner, guys. Her and her husband are the ones that print our planner right here.
Yep.
366 days, 400 pages of our undated planner, so you could start now and not lose any pages. Or if you're like me and you skip days, you don't lose any pages. Emery Shea, hey guys, I usually listen to you while I'm at work cleaning, but we have a blizzard, so I don't have to go in tonight. Ooh, there you go. And you're commenting again. I'm so glad that finally got fixed. Simon's Human, I will definitely trade our 89-degree weather for your cold and snow. I know. I was talking to my Filipino editor, and it was over 100 degrees there. He's like, oh, we would love to have snow. I thought, I bet you would. Holy moly.
I sent him a picture of Tara out in the driveway with the snowblower, and the snow was twice as high as, we have a huge snowblower, Big Bertha, and the snow was twice as high as the snowblower, and Tara was standing in this little corner of it, and I sent it to him, and he's never seen snow in real life, and he just said, it's so strange to see that you have snow mowers there, because he said we have lawnmowers, but we don't have snow mowers. I just thought it was
He
funny
thought
that
was pretty funny.
Yeah,
Is that picture still on your phone?
it is. I could probably find it if I look.
Let's see.
It's from before South Dakota.
Hold on. My goodness, you take a lot of pictures.
Well, there's no extra charge, so you just keep yourself on your phone.
Okay, here we go, guys. Let's see if they can see. Can you see that? That was what, not 10 days ago? About 10 days ago?
Yeah.
Something like that. And Simon says, grew up in New York. After 30 years of living in North Carolina, still have not gotten used to the heat. It literally makes me ill. It literally makes me ill, too. That's why I'm not moving to Florida. I love you, Goalie, but I'll visit you in December.
I would love to visit you in Florida, but yeah, December might be good even for me.
Wanda, liverwurst has gluten. Would not have thought of that. Yes, there's a lot of things that have gluten. It's also in liverwurst, it's listed as modified food starch is a big one in a lot of products. And you don't know what modified food starch is. It could be cornstarch. It could be arrowroot. It could be wheat starch. Usually it's wheat starch. Crazy Cat, gluten-free doesn't have to be expensive. A lot of packaged stuff is really expensive and most of it is terrible anyway. Yeah. I really don't buy anything special gluten-free except for the bread when I can't make it. Like now I don't have an oven. So I don't buy anything specialty gluten-free. Except for my gluten-free all-purpose flour is what I buy specialty, but it's not really that expensive. And since I'm only cooking for me, I'm not going to eat a whole pan of cookies at once or a whole pan of brownies at once. So that'll last me, a while. I'll just freeze the leftovers. So, Edith says, sounds like my issue. Thank you for this information. I'm going to buy your book. Yeah, buy it because I think it will really help you just going gluten-free. Just start eating chicken and rice to start with, eggs. Gluten-free bread, the kind I get is the one in the freezer section. Udi's, no, I don't know if it's Udi's. I can't remember.
It used to be Udi's, but now it's a different brand.
Now it's something else. But Wendy wants to know what your brilliant idea is. Emery Shea, we need to reveal it before we go on the rapture. I'll tell you in heaven if we go before the rapture.
Well, one thing that's hopefully good news. Of course, it's funny all the things that are coming together all at once here at our place.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell them that.
It appears.
I left my phone over at the house. I hope they didn't call.
Well, do you need me to go get it?
It's too late now. It's after 5.
The window was stuck 2.5 hours away because they closed the interstates for the 55th day this year.
For snow.
And so the window is there. And so it appears that it's going to be here in time for the contractors to put it in next week, which means they'll be moving to wrap the whole kitchen project real fast, which will be great if it happens that way. We hope
we could have a finished kitchen by the end of next week,
but they're planning on coming on like Tuesday probably to start working on that. And that's the day of my surgery. At least the gluten-free books were supposed to come around then, but they've been delayed a few weeks because they got flagged at customs to check them out. But so at least that's not happening at the same moment.
Yeah. Reva, watch Newsmax. Yeah, that's a good one. Kathy, my guess for Mike. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
What's that?
My guess for Mike.
We're
right there.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe she's guessing your brilliant idea and you didn't catch her the whole comment.
Oh, maybe so.
Sue, what are your thoughts on banks failing and people drawing their savings out and saving it at home?
It's not going to help.
Not going to do you any good. If the banks are failing, I mean, it's fine to go ahead and draw out your money. If there's a bank that you think is going to fail, like, it's going to fail, or they're talking about it failing, go ahead and draw out your money. I guess that's fine. But if all the banks collapse, it's not going to do any good.
Well, and one thing that makes banks fail is if everybody thinks it's going to fail and they all take it out at the same time. So I would say if you are convinced that your bank is going to fail, then obviously you should protect your money. But yeah, but if, as Tara was saying, though, if all the banks fail, then the money's going to be worthless, even if it's in your house. So, but yeah, if we found out that our one bank was likely to fail, we would probably move it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So be the next one. Deborah says Trader Joe's has a great gluten-free sandwich bread if you can't make it, about $4. There you go. I've never had a Trader Joe in my city, so I didn't know about that. So yeah. But oh, Mary Beth, I am so sorry to hear about your husband. Oh, so sorry.
Yeah,
We had another one of our viewers lose their wife, and he emailed us to let us know.
So the next ones I haven't gathered very many yet.
Laura says, watch Pastor Jack. He's excellent on what's going on. Yes, he is. We love Pastor Jack. He is a really good pastor. We watch him when we can't go to church. Nancy
and sometimes
says,
in addition to church.
is the gluten-free Canyon? Yes, it is. I never tried the one in the freezer. Yes, that's the one it is. It's Canyon. And I just leave it in the refrigerator after I get it from the store, and it works just fine. So yeah. Okay, let's see. Oops. Nancy says she loves the gluten-free bread in Tara's cookbook on page 82 right here. It's really easy and tastes great. My husband has been gluten-free for a year. Couldn't make it without the gluten-free, dairy-free cookbook. Aw, thanks so much. I am so glad that it has been a help to you. My former assistant kept telling me I should write it, and I was like, there's not going to be that many people that buy it. Oh my goodness. We sell almost as many, not quite, probably half the amount of gluten-frees as we do our volume 1. So a lot of people do. Kimberly says a local Amish Mennonite roofing company did a metal roof for us and all new gutters for $10,000. Woo! Karen says our grocery store had Libby's canned vegetables 5 for $5 the other day, stocked up. Very good. Very good. Chrissy, right. Give me chocolate chip or cinnamon roll if I'm going to be sick. No kidding. I was a little ticked when I realized it was gluten. I was like, okay. I could use more of him. I'm
gathering some here.
If I'm going to be that sick, at least let it be something good. The good news is the hotel we stayed at had gluten-free Udi's blueberry muffins, which weren't sugar-free, but oh my goodness, they were so good. So they were really good, but I was in a lot of pain the whole time we were gone. Emery Shea, when digital currency comes in, we are all in trouble. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's coming sooner than later. And so, guys, at this point, we're just going to have to hang on for the ride. It's obvious our government has no care for justice at all. And so they're not going to care about your money. They'll be like, hey, tougho schmuffo bucko. If you think you're going to be eating a steak this week, I got news for you. They're going to have no qualms about doing anything like that. So,
There's only a short number of them, but I'm sending them to you.
Okay. And let's see. Let me get it here. Heat makes me so sick. Yes, it makes me really sick also, Lynette. That's why I'm not planning on moving to Florida, even though we love Goli Fareed. We would be good neighbors with Goli and Fareed, wouldn't we?
Should ask our neighbors here.
We should ask our former neighbors in Colorado.
Well, I don't know if they would say we're good neighbors.
The ones in front would.
Oh, them. Yes. Okay.
We did have really good neighbors in front in Colorado.
I thought you meant
the back neighbors.
I thought you meant the ones on the other side of the
No,
DMZ.
the front neighbors were really good. Barbara, finished kitchen wonders never cease. Yeah. So it wasn't getting on my nerves, but I don't know what happened. The last 3 or 4 weeks, I just really started losing it. I think it's just because I can't find anything. And yeah. So anyway, Kayla, I work at a bank, a very conservative bank. Different banks have different cultures. You should stick with conservative ones and you will be fine. Yes, I would agree with you. Victoria, is it okay to substitute whole wheat or oat flour for white flour in recipes in Diana Dime cookbook? Not always. Wheat flour and oat flour have a different consistency. Like oat flour doesn't have gluten. And wheat flour is really super heavy. So if you just switch it straight across, it probably is not going to work in your recipes. Now, you can just test and see, and for the few cents, 50 cents or $1 that it would cost you to test a recipe, I would definitely do it and then just see which ones you can switch and which ones you can't. Carolyn, One American News might be another suggestion. I think that's the one that somebody I knew had watched one time. But yeah.
A lot of people watch Newsmax too, but we don't really watch news. We'll read something, but most of the news is we have some little local news in our town that talks about what's happening here, and I like that. All right.
Yeah.
Although it's not the main newspaper here either. So.
Yeah. The pastor we watch, Nicole, is Jack Hibbs. Real Life with Jack Hibbs. That's who it is. Looking to get my mom's sewing machine for Mother's Day. Does anyone have any suggestions? Oh boy, I have no idea. No idea at all. Bounty in the Badlands, your deposits are insured to a certain dollar amount. If you have more than that, put the overage in another bank. Yes, I would definitely do that.
And that's actually kind of, it's $250,000. If you have $250,000 or less in a bank that's FDIC insured, it should be, if it collapses, that government insurance should cover you. The issue with that bank in California is that businesses had $20 million in the bank and it only covers up to $250,000. And the other thing is, I think if they pay you, it could be like 6 weeks or months before you actually get the money from it. So I would be a little thoughtful if that's all the money you have in that one bank.
Yeah. Kimberly wants to know, what do we mean by digital currency? So they're setting it up so that all your money, you will never have cash in your hand again. And they're getting that set up. Now, we already probably do 95% of everything digitally anyway.
In America.
So while, yeah, we won't have cash, it's really not that big of a leap to do digital currency at all, which would mean you would only be able to electronically use money, not have any paper at all. And then what happens is, if they decide that, they believe that global warming is a real thing instead of the fake science that it actually is, because they're a bunch of stupid people. Sorry, had to get that out. Now I'm done. And they don't.
I don't know. I think with all that snow that we have,
come to Wyoming. We'll show you global warming. My goodness, that's the stupidest thing. Anyway. If they don't agree and they think that global warming is actually something, and they think that there's too many cows farting, then they're going to say, nope, you can't buy steak. And they will stop you from buying steak. They will stop you from driving more than they feel that you should be driving. They will force you into the 15-minute cities where you can't leave your city more than 100 times a year, which they're already starting, or you're going to be fined. And so these things are already being set up. It's going to happen. I would be really shocked if it didn't happen this year, maybe next year. But I honestly thought it would happen by the end of last year. But I think there's just enough keeping it from happening. So maybe we'll be able to hold it off a little bit longer. So,
well, I know Tara kind of mentioned some things, but there's a specific currency that the government's been working on that they can change the value of it. So like if I have $100 and you have $100 and they like you better, or you buy the things they want better, they can make your $100 worth $125 and leave mine at $100. So they don't really explain what they're wanting to do with that, but judging by other things that they've already implemented, it's probably in order to implement political agendas that they want to implement. Yeah.
It's all political. Where's mom? She is just at home. She doesn't drive in the snow. So, Bounty, what kind of sewer is mom? Basic, advanced quilter. So she quilts, but she's not like I would say she's high, medium sewer. She does really nice stuff, but she doesn't like make her own clothes or anything. She doesn't like doing that. Teresa, when going shopping, shop Casper or Billings, Montana, no sales tax. Yep. Kimberly, yes, like with debit cards, kind of, but that's all you'll be able to use. But the government will be in control of your money. So, oh, Donna!
Donna's on.
I was just thinking of you the other day. I hope you guys didn't get a ton of snow.
We've been inundated, Donna. They said this is the second or third worst winter in Sheridan since
So far.
1880.
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Do you have any more for me?
I have a few more, yeah.
Okay. Nancy, I hate the way we are being pushed to be under control of others instead of my free will and freedom. Yep, totally agree. Nancy, you don't live here in Sheridan, do you? Are you who I think you are?
Wait.
Let's see.
My brain isn't bringing up any.
Men's breakfast. Snowstorm. Race beds.
Oh.
That was her name on Facebook, so I was wondering if it's the same person.
Gotcha. That's like the chairs against the wall. John has a long mustache. Like, oh.
Except what I was telling you actually has meaning.
Yeah, but only to me.
Sandy wants to know where we should get her quarter for her Aldi cart. Yep. You won't be able to get your quarter for your Aldi cart. Let's see. Do you watch Christian channels? I recommend them. Mike Winger, yes, he's good. I don't know the other ones, but or Alan Parr, he seems to be on target, although I'm kind of mad at him, but we're Christians, we're supposed to forgive. Bounties in Badland, your depository. Oh yeah, I got that one. Emery Shea, yeah, oat flour is not a 1-for-1 replacement, Victoria, according to Emery. Yeah, I think she's right because it's heavier. It's not got any gluten, so it's going to totally change the way you bake. Linda, I like End Times Headlines. He's also very good. I don't know him. Kayla, looking to get my mom. Oh, got that one. And let's see. Nancy says, go to a community bank that knows you better. Well, okay, community banks are good, but I will say our community bank has not been very helpful. We're living in a small town, so I got to be careful what I say, but they are really giving us a hard time about depositing our checks when people write something other than living on a dime on our checks. If you guys write a check, make sure it says living on a dime. They'll write everything else but that. And they're really giving us a hard time. So we have to have 2 bank accounts open because we have to deposit those checks in a different, larger bank.
Well, we have a larger corporate type bank that has worked well for us in most ways for a while, but there's not one in our state at all. And they're less particular, but unfortunately for our local bank, it's that the state auditors, if they see it's written to something else, will punish them in some sort of way. But it has been frustrating though. If we go in there and somebody writes dining on a dime instead of living on a dime on the check, then I have to do it through the bank that's in the other state.
Yeah.
So,
but
I really like the fact though, I walk into the bank and everybody there knows me already. And we've only had the bank account for,
I can't imagine you liking that.
I'm such a quiet little person and I just show up there and I'm just,
Mike gets his self-esteem from people saying hi to him. We'll just say that.
It's not my self-esteem. I'm just extroverted.
Nancy, I've had a Singer sewing machine for years. About my new. Let's see. Often they have used ones for sale. Tay, go ahead. Nanny always loved her Singer sewing machine. Yeah, I think that's what I have as a Singer for me. I hardly ever use it except for making curtains, which I need to be getting on for my new kitchen. Do you do any baking for yourself besides bread? So yes and no. I need to cut out the sugar. So I have stopped baking a lot. But before I cut out the sugar, yes, I would bake for just myself. Cookies, vanilla wafers, whatever. And then I would just freeze the extras and then just pull them out when I need them. Edith just ordered my new gluten-free cookbook, praying it works for me. So here's the thing. You're going to have to really be careful that you don't inadvertently eat gluten because it is in a lot of things. So I would really make sure, like canned soup mix, you wouldn't think has gluten in it. It does. Lots of soups have gluten in it. So look on the back to see if it says wheat. If it does not say gluten-free on it, that doesn't mean that it's not gluten-free. So like oatmeal has gluten in it. You have to get gluten-free oatmeal because they process oats on the same conveyor belt as they do wheat, and it gets cross-contaminated. So try it and see. And Riche, for those of us who are in Christ, we don't need to worry about the beast system. No, we don't. But it's very possible that we're not going to have the mark of the beast until after the rapture. But we could have digital currency before the rapture. And digital currency is going to be used with the mark of the beast. But digital currency is not in and of itself the mark of the beast. So just so people aren't confused with that. Christine, when in the history of the world did the climate not change? I know, it's so stupid. Don't even get me started. Connie, we were in Deadwood. We weren't there very long. We just literally drove through, walked down the street a few blocks, and then left because we were
thinking, oh, who could we know here who would be able to show us around?
We were talking about you while we were there, but we're going to try and go back. I guess in the summer it's like crazy there, I suppose. Like Estes Park probably is.
Pretty nice there, yeah.
There was nobody there when we were there. Oh my goodness. There was literally not any cars driving on the street. We saw 2 cars on the street the whole 30 minutes or something we were there, but
yeah. We did walk a little bit.
Yeah, not long, but just to kind of see what it was. Okay, go ahead and send me any more. Could we do a live stream talking about 15-minute cities sometime? So it's just a plan where in the future, supposedly, they want 15-minute cities. So everything you need is within a 15-minute walk, I believe is what it is. And there's a radius around the city. And they're already testing it out in, is it Oxford, England, I think?
It's somewhere in the UK.
I think it's Oxford, England. They're already testing this out in Austria, Oxford, England. They can't leave their city more than 100 times a year. And if they do, they'll be fined. Everything you need, doctors, dentists, grocery store, everything.
100 times a year?
Yeah.
That's more than I thought.
Yeah. Well, that's because they're easing people in. It's going to get more than that. But anyway, so yeah, that's the basis of it. Okay. Did you send me more?
I sent you 10.
Okay.
Well, Lisa says, I live in Canada and some of our banks have sent out notices about digital.
Oh, really? Already? Wow. Just read labels. Great Valley chili beans have gluten. Yes. Dakota brand do not. Yeah. I know it's a learning curve, but it's really not that difficult. So just stick with things like plain rice. Just cook your own rice. Get potato flakes that are just plain potato flakes or potatoes and just make your own potatoes right now. But just start off, just give yourself a week to 10 days of meals like baked potatoes and that kind of thing to do that. So make it easy on yourself. Donna only got 6 inches of snow. Good going, Donna. Rachel made the peachy pork chops the other day. Everyone was right. They are delicious. Yes. Right here in our Dining on a Dime cookbook. Delicious. It's also on our website, livingonadime.com. Nancy, some garage sales accept Venmo, which I do not have. Yeah, I know. How does eating gluten make me feel? So I get really, really bad stomach cramps. I get a really bad headache. I get really bad brain fog. I'll get diarrhea. It'll make me really, really nauseated. And it takes about 3 days to get out of my system. And then it takes me about 2 weeks before I'm back to normal after I've eaten gluten. Crazy Cat Lady, a lot of people have digestive issues. I have emotional issues, stress, anxiety, mood swing. Yeah. Nancy, Tara, I'm not that Nancy. Is that good or bad? Oh, it doesn't. It's neither good nor bad, Nancy. I just thought maybe you were the same person. It's someone we know here in town, and
she's very nice.
She uses that nickname on Facebook, and so yeah, she's a really nice gal. So I thought it might be her. All right, let's see.
Connie says, glad you got to see Deadwood. Hope you come back when the weather is warmer. I will show you around. Plus, I'm a local musician for Deadwood Alive. We'll be performing 3 free shows a week.
Wow.
Very cool.
Okay, let me just clear something up here. My mother says, I'm not supposed to talk, but I had to jump in. Okay, my mother is taking what I said out of context in her comments. So just so you guys know, I'm not preventing my mother from talking, but what was happening was when she was commenting on the show, she was answering all the questions before I could get to them, and like I had no show. So I had to tell her, stop answering the questions because we weren't able to keep a show going because we didn't have the questions. So for all of you who are going to start yelling at me, no, I am not allowing my mother to comment. I just don't want her answering the questions and giving away all the stuff in the show before I've done the show. So anyway. Okay. Yes, the digital currency thing is called CBDC. Carissa, I'm afraid for our country. Well, listen, as Christians, I don't know if you're a Christian or not, but as Christians, there's really nothing to be afraid of. God is going to take care of us no matter what. So we just need to suck it up and realize that these things are happening. Basically, I think the United States is pretty much gone. I would say that we would possibly be able to pull out of it, but I just really don't see how we can anymore. So, yeah. So anyway, but Militia had not heard about the limits. Yes. Let's see. Glad to see. Oh, yes. Sad to see that. Yes, Mom was messing up the show by answering all the questions in the chat. So anyway.
But you didn't tell her she couldn't say hi to people and talk about chocolate and all that. It's just answering questions in detail that we're answering during the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nancy, you will own nothing and be happy. If you believe that, I have a bridge to sell. Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, they can take it off the internet all they want, but that's what was actually said, and that's what they're actually doing. So, yeah. Wanda, is there any difference between beef and chicken liver besides personal preference? Not that I know of. Beef maybe has more B vitamins, but I don't know. Let's see. Deborah says that's exactly right in with eating gluten. I'm awful after CFA. Yeah. So my chronic fatigue syndrome cleared up probably 75% up. Probably 75% when I went gluten-free, dairy-free. And it's totally cleared up when I go gluten-free, dairy-free, and sugar-free. So for me, well, I would say 90% cleared up. Maybe not totally, but 90% cleared up when I stay off sugar, gluten, and dairy. And so, yes, it's a immune response to a virus that kicked my immune system into overdrive, so that when I eat these foods, my immune system thinks that I'm allergic to them when I'm not. I mean, I am, but you know what I mean? It causes a allergy type symptom. But going off all those things really helps. That's why I'm able to do so much compared to when I wasn't before. But yeah, so anyway, yes, and I also have a medical test and a genetic test that says that I do have a problem with gluten also, and an allergy test. I've got a blood test, I've got a genetic test, and I've got an allergy test. So I've got all three. So I know gluten is a problem for me, and so I try to stay off of it as much as possible. But guys, I didn't mean to make this the gluten-free show, but I'm telling you, for my birthday, I love coconut cream cake. right here.
Wait, what? Is that a hint?
No,
I think that's a hint.
I took the white.
What about for Mother's Day? Do you like gluten-free cake for Mother's Day?
I do. I took
What about for the day we met? Is that a good day for gluten-free?
Yes.
That's
coming up, isn't it?
What about the anniversary of our first date? The next day. Is that a good day? Is that a hint?
Are you done?
I'm thinking of some other holiday.
So I love coconut cream cake. And what I did was I took the white cake.
What about Easter?
Stop it. I took the white cake in here and I added coconut flavoring and coconut pieces in there. And then I just took a white buttercream frosting that uses rice milk that uses coconut milk or rice milk with a little bit of coconut flavoring and some shredded coconut. And I made coconut cake to die for. You would have never known it was gluten-free. You would never suspect it. I mean, Mike had it for my birthday a couple of years ago and it was really good. My problem is getting off of sugar. That's where I have the problem. So anyway,
what? I didn't know anybody knew what this was but you.
What do you have? Yes, I have the MTHFR gene. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I did not know.
Yeah.
Kim is asking if you've ever baked with stevia instead of sugar. I'm wondering if that's doable.
I have not tried one artificial sweetener that I actually like. Not one. Believe me, I've tried every single one. There is no artificial sweetener that I have not tasted. And I'm sorry, none of them are as good as just regular sugar. So yeah. Okay. Did you have any more?
I did, but I shouldn't send them to you.
Oh dear. I want to know.
So yeah. Oh, where there's some people were asking about that. So that 15-minute cities thing, some people were asking why. So the people that want to do it figure if they prevent you from leaving your town, that it'll help their agenda about the atmosphere and gases and climate things, the global warming stuff. So that's what that's about, is they're trying to just force that on people to like prevent you from going anywhere because they think somehow it's going to save the earth. And they've already got that in place. Some of those things in places and other places, like that's part of the issue with the banks that failed. Some of the regulations prioritize that over profits for the people who are investing their retirement money there, stuff like that. So it's stuff that's going into place that they're mostly not talking about, but you can look online and
yeah, it's happening.
Some of that was orders on the White House website and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Bandana Grandma, what is your favorite tea without sugar? Actually, I can drink pretty much all my tea without sugar now. It took me a really long time to get to that point, but I can drink pretty much all of my tea. Now I do buy the tea from England. I have Mike get it for me for Mother's Day and my birthday and Christmas and stuff. So I do actually get real English tea, but I like English breakfast tea. But yeah. There's one. Has anybody tried? There's this tea called Paris tea. Has anybody tried it? It sounded really interesting. And I was thinking of, except it was really expensive when I was looking for it, but I was just curious what it was. Kitty, I have a minimum of 2 bakes. That way, if there's an issue with one, I always access to the other. That's a good idea. Yep, that's probably a good idea. Wanda says she has a Singer featherweight she got for Christmas in 1968. It's still working. It'll still be working after she's dead. Probably the sewing machines made back then were really good. Mary, expensive mistake this week. Husband threw his fob key within his pants pocket into the wash. I have it in a cup of rice, hoping it dries out. Replacement, $85. Wow. Yeah, totally get it. Connie, hope we come back to Deadwood when it's warmer. She'll show us around. I will do that. Yeah, it was a really cool town, although I was surprised at how risque it was. I don't know if I want my boys going back there in the summer.
Where?
Deadwood. Brothels until 1980?
Oh.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Mary, always reread ingredients list. Ingredients always change. Yes, this is true. Anne Marie. Sorry, just got in. Yes, Anne Marie. If you could see the pile of snow right outside here. Yep. Let's see. Isn't beef liver higher in iron? Yes, it is also higher in iron. Let's see. Julie says I'm diabetic and I don't like artificial sweeteners. I had to go cold turkey. Yeah, I need to just get cold turkey, and I just, yeah. Anyway, since I have the MTHFR gene, do you take mentholated form of B vitamins? Yes, I do. The doctor says I have to take it every single day, or I will just be miserable. So yes.
Did you get that other damn question?
I did.
Oh, you already answered it?
Yep. Deborah says, yep, as they fly around in their private jets. Oh, yeah. The people that are putting in all this ridiculous green stuff, 15-minute cities, digital currency and everything, because the world's coming to end because of global warming, which is a farce. They are the ones flying around in their private jets. And it is so hypocritical. It's not even funny. But you know, what do you do? There's really not a lot you can do.
I did hear an interesting story the other day. They were saying that there was a dramatic story about an issue that they say is happening in Antarctica. And they said the last time this happened with it warming like this, it was 10,000 years ago when this happened and it caused this problem. And I was thinking, wait, 10,000 years ago? What was not present 10,000 years ago while this was happening? So I just thought, okay.
Yeah.
Use your brain, people. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Valerie.
I did send you another one. If you
allulose is the closest sugar in my opinion. So I did try that one, and I was able to gag that one down. But is that the one though that is xylitol? I think that's the one that's xylitol, and I like the taste of xylitol, but it gives me really horrible stomach cramps. So let me see. I'm pretty sure that's the one that's xylitol. And let's see here. I can't remember if it is or not. I don't know. Anyway, xylitol makes me really sick to my stomach too, but I don't know if that was the same one, but okay, let's see. About how hard is it to deal with gluten? So it's really, really super hard, and it's really, really super easy. So it's really, really hard in the sense that if you're buying any pre-made anything at all, pretty much gluten is in almost everything. But it's really, really simple, easy if you just eat foods that are easy, normal foods. So what I do is I get like a gluten-free bread, make a piece of gluten-free bread with a fried egg for my breakfast. I'll have an egg salad sandwich or chicken salad sandwich or BLT or something like that for lunch. And then dinner is chicken and rice or chicken and potatoes, a hamburger with no bun, or 2 pieces of gluten-free bread toasted, that type of thing. If you just keep it simple foods that without prepackaged or pre-made products, then, and just stick with like mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup for flavorings to get started, then it's really actually fairly easy. But Michael says, I like starch tea. It's getting hard to find. What is starch tea? I've never heard of that one. That's a new one.
Well, and Mary said, look into naturally sweet teas. I'm diabetic, so I use cinnamon tea. The longer it sits, the sweeter it is.
Mom and I had a cinnamon tea in the 80s that we loved. It was so good. And we have never found the same tea ever again. It came in a package. It was loose, and it was ground powder. And it was really, really good. But I've never seen anything like that. Rachel Taro, what did you end up doing with the vintage magazine in rack table? I ended up making it. I was going to show it actually pretty soon, but I ended up making it into an end table, but it's not working like I thought it would. I thought I'd be able to hold my computers, but to have it close enough to my chair, I don't have any room to get in there to put my computer. So I was a little disappointed in that. That was one of those frugal flops. But Crazy Cat Lady, allulose is totally different from xylitol. Okay, maybe that's not the one I was thinking of, but I might try that one again.
You had allulose at one time. Did you actually use that? I can't remember.
I did, but obviously I didn't think it was that great because I didn't keep using it. But
I should have tried it. I don't think I did, but I don't mind all the other sweeteners.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Yes, the MTHFR gene, guys. If you have CFS or fibromyalgia, check that out. It's a very real thing. A viewer told me about it. Oh man, it's been a while now. What, 6 years ago? No, it's been probably 7 or 8 years ago. Did you send me more?
I don't have any more.
And
I'm looking for some.
So yeah. Elaine says gluten-free is easier than it sounds. I make a tea with a whole lemon juice, a teaspoon of cinnamon and hot water. Oh, I've never tried that with cinnamon. That might be a good thing. That's a really good idea. Yeah, let me look up that one tea real quick. Was it Paris tea? I think it was called. Yeah, it's Harney and Sons Paris tea. I don't know. It just sounded Oh, it says I've already bought that. Did you buy me something and you didn't give it to me for a present?
I don't remember buying that for you, but did I?
Well, I didn't buy it for me.
Maybe you should grab a screenshot of that and let me look after this and see.
Oh, 2015.
Oh, no, if it was 2015, I
don't remember ever drinking that.
Well, the memory fades.
Well, according to Amazon, we have bought this tea before. Right there. Oops, can you guys see it? Not really.
Amazon knows more about us than we do.
Harney and Sons Paris tea. I don't know. It sounded very interesting for just something different. But black tea with a hint of, well, maybe it sounds, with a hint of lemony bergamot. Well, that's just like Earl Grey then. Black currant flavor, vanilla, bergamot, caramel flavor. I don't know. It just sounded kind of interesting. So I was like, but apparently.
Bergamot or whatever is in Earl Grey.
I know. I have no memory of that tea. So I don't know if you forgot to give it to me and it disappeared somewhere. Although we've moved since then, so I would have thought you would have found it.
We'll find it in the memories box someday. Hey, we haven't opened this box in 14 years.
Mike is forever buying me presents. And like 3 months after the holiday, he's like, oh, look what I just found. So I get to have my holidays go through the year.
I need a special gift locker where I can lock it in there and then I'll know where it is. Because otherwise I'm like a squirrel, like, oh, she'll never find it here.
Yes.
And now I'll never find it here either. And someday it's like, oh, look at this chocolate I found.
I do like Red Rose Transformation Station and it's disappeared. Bye, Rosa. It's disappeared in our kitchen remodel. I need to find my Red Rose again. But yeah. Apple cider. I used to like that one, Sandra. That was a pretty good one too. Bengal spice. I have never tried that one. D. That sounds interesting. And basil. Wow. Yes, Mike's having surgery on his knee on Tuesday, so everyone feels sorry for him. His wife is not very good at feeling sorry for him, so he needs all of you guys to feel sorry for him. Okay,
everybody come over and have a little social occasion where we can all have tea together without Tara, because Tara's not the.
I'm not the sympathy person.
She's not the sympathy type.
We got an electric ring.
She's the suck it up. You have another leg. Come on.
Let's see. We
Come
could
back
not.
here, I'll bite your ankles.
So I have only used a
Sorry.
gas range, one house for 6 months. I've only had a gas range once in my entire life for 6 months. At the very first house that Mike and I lived in together, apartment that Mike and I lived in together. And otherwise, I've only had electric ranges. In this house, I had thought about getting a gas range just for the YouTube video effect because it would look cool when you poof the flame. But we would have had to put a hole in the basement to run a pipe and all this. And so in the end, we ended up having to put holes in the basement anyway for the kitchen sink. So I probably could have done it, but we did it. So yeah. So anyway, hey, where's our refrigerator? It was supposed to be here a week ago.
Well, I thought
Those little turds.
I thought the other day you told me it was supposed to be here that day, like
No.
just a couple days back.
Well, yeah, almost a week ago now. Those little turds. Where's my refrigerator? I just realized. Rachel, hot cinnamon spice. Yes, that sounds really yummy. I would like to try that one. Maybe I'll try that one next. Because what I do is I give Mike ideas of this kind of stuff for tea. And so that's what I get instead of candy and that type of thing is teas and things like that. So, Donna, we keep cash in hand. Don't want the government to track our purchases. It's none of their business. It's going to be their business pretty soon. You're not going to be able to use cash. So they're already doing. Where is it? Nigeria, I think. I think it was Nigeria they started it, and people are not happy. But you know what? It's just going to be one of those things where they're going to be like, "Suck it up, Buttercup. This is what we're doing."
Well, most people don't realize how much is already all over the place about you.
Yeah.
Because if you use the internet and you just leave the default settings on your browser and stuff, then they know all of your habits and everything. And at the time, because I remember people were complaining at first about privacy and all that.
You have no privacy.
But at the same time, people like the fact that when they want to buy something, they just open Amazon and there it is right there. And unfortunately, it's funny because I noticed for me, there are some things that they're confused about, but I think it's because of just silly things I've done for fun.
Bandanagram says my sister turned my room upside down looking for something I hid from her. She never found it. It was under her mattress. Oh, that's pretty smart. That's pretty smart. Lots of ice packs. Yes, Mike has his ice pack he's already using right now because it works. So.
You know what's funny is I'm actually kind of enthusiastic about it because it's just been bothering me for a long time. And I had a surgery before that didn't show. They couldn't find anything. And they said, you're all better. But it still bothered me on and off since then. But I think it'll be nice to get it if they can actually fix it. Because I love hiking with the boys and walking around town. And Tara and I used to go on walks a lot. And it'd be nice to get back to all that again. So, yeah. I need a gift closet, yeah, with a lock on it. Susan, my mom, who's from London, loves Twinings, and I love Taylor's of Harrogate.
When we were in London, I discovered Taylor's, and oh my goodness, it's like my new favorite tea. I got the red one. I think it's English breakfast. So when we were staying in Massam, it was across the street at a little town, not grocery store type thing. Not a convenience store. It was actually a grocery store, but they had it there and I got it. And oh man, I wish I would have got more. It was so good. I really love that one. The English breakfast. I think it's the red one. I think is the one. Yeah.
We brought back some great teas from Europe when we went there in 19.
Yeah.
What was the Irish one you liked too?
Berries. Well, no, it starts with an F. What was the F one? That one was really good. And oh my goodness, I wish. What was that called? As a matter of fact, I would almost pay somebody from Ireland to ship me some of that. It was so good. Oh, it started with an F and it was super cheap at the grocery store. And it was like $1 for this huge box of tea bags, and it was so good. What was it called? Oh, it's not on here. Amazon doesn't even have it. It started with an F. I know it started with an F. What was that stuff called? Irish tea. It was like Farney's or something.
Oh yeah. Was it Farley's? I can't remember, but I remember.
Oh,
You should go to
man.
Uncup and Tay and find it. Sure,
Yeah.
they have it.
Let me see if I can. Oh, that's going to drive me nuts now until I find what it was. It wasn't the line. I'm almost positive it started with an F. What was that stuff called? Oh my goodness, that's going to drive me crazy. I have the package still because I thought if I ever run across it anywhere, I'm going to get it. Although Barry's is really good too. It's really close. But that one that started with an F, oh my goodness, I wish I would have bought an entire suitcase home full of that one. It was so, so good. I am not finding it anywhere. Huh. I can't remember what it was called. Okay, somebody from Ireland has to be on here right now. Come on, guys. Is there anybody from Ireland? Can you tell me what the name of the tea was? We got it at, what was the store we got it at? Little's. I'm pretty sure it was at Little's, I think. But it was really good. Okay. Bandana Grandma Tar just missed her refrigerator from a week ago. We've been having a lot going on. So we have a whole bunch of stuff that, yeah, we won't even, you guys have no idea what's going on behind the scenes around here. It's just crazy. So anyway, there's no point in taking cash out of the money to have cash, or yeah, taking your money out of the bank to have cash. Yeah, because your cash isn't going to be worth anything. So anyway, I know I feel bad for Mike too, because I had knee surgery when I was 15 and I know how awful it is. Although his isn't going to be near as bad as what mine was. He's going to have the easy end of the stick for that one. But
well, yours was open. They cut your knee open,
yeah.
Right? For me, it's an arthroscopic.
It took me a full year to recover from my knee surgery, but you'll be up and going in a couple of weeks for sure.
Margie said, Margie, the wandering hypnotherapist, says Farley's English breakfast tea.
Farley's. It is Farley's. Is that what I said? Farley's?
You said Farney's, but I thought it was Farley's.
Farley's. That was the one. Oh my goodness. I don't know where I can find that. Let's see. Amazon. I think I looked on Amazon. Farley's.
Well, I typed in Farley's English breakfast and nothing came up. So I wonder if it's not quite called that. Well, there is Farley's Tea Lovers box. Oh, Farley's coffee?
Was that it?
Farley's.
I don't know, but that stuff was so good. I would go back to Ireland just for that. It was good.
We should.
Oh, it's not showing up.
We should have had you go into the.
I don't know.
Now I'm looking for.
I don't know what it was, but if anybody finds it, just let me know where I can get some, because that's going to be my birthday present for every holiday for the next 20 years of my life. It was so good. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it was super expensive. Right after we came back, I found some on Amazon that somebody was selling, but it was ridiculously expensive. I mean, it was like $40 a box or something. I'm like, okay, I love it, but not $40 a box.
Now I'm wondering if I have the picture on here.
If we weren't running Living on a Dime, what would we do instead? I think about that every single day. I would just do stuff around the house. I wouldn't do anything.
I'd be a tour guide. Yeah, here's Tara in Ireland in front of the tea shop. Oops, except is it gonna? There we go. Yeah. Except she didn't actually go in. I can't remember. Were we in a hurry that day or something?
Yeah. Oh, wow. I looked pretty rough that day.
Well, it was pouring rain.
Yeah, I can't remember why I didn't go in.
It was bucketing down.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Fraley's tea? No, it wasn't Fraley's spelt like that. It was a shorter. Well, I don't know. I thought it was shorter than that. Maybe not. I think it was a green box. Was it a green box too? I can't remember.
Now I have to look.
Well, Fraley's isn't coming up on my search, so I don't know. But
Lots of berries, and she does like berries.
the berries is really good, but this was now. I'll have to show you guys if I get Mike's brilliant idea done, and I'm able to find. Well, never mind. I might be able to find it if I do Mike's brilliant idea. We'll just say it has something to do with tea. So
what? There's Murphy's tea?
Yes. No, it wasn't berries. I have berries and I love berries. It's really good. But this was something different. And now I'm just going to go nuts. I'll post it. If I can find it in all my boxes, I'll post it on the community page for you guys. But it was just a plain tea. It was like $1 for this huge box of 80 or 100 or 150. I don't know. It was some crazy amount of tea bags. And it was really good. And I wish I would have stuffed my whole suitcase full of it because it was just so delicious. And I didn't know that. So.
All right. Yeah, she was in hog's heaven with all the teas over there.
I loved it. You guys know how to have tea over in England and Ireland.
Eileen says Fraser's for ACRS.
Oh, maybe that's it. That might be. Let me see. Where's it at? That might be it. Fraser's. It was Fraser's. I'm sure it was Fraser's. Let's see. I'm sure that's what it is. Maybe they changed the package since we were there. Okay, I'm going to go see if I can find it. I'm going to go dig through the boxes.
Stay tuned next time for the follow-up.
How did we end up on a gluten-free and tea show? I have no idea. MK says she has a total knee replacement 3 months ago, and she's doing fantastic.
Yay. This isn't a replacement, so for me, they told me that the knee looks great. It looks really great, they said, except for that one thing, which is torn. So I guess I was too hard on it.
Yeah. She thought Fraser's was Scottish. Maybe it was Scottish tea in Ireland, and I didn't know that. And they were selling it in Ireland as...
Finley's. That sounds
familiar.
Where?
I'm sure it was like Finley or Fraser or something. I know it was one of those, but I don't know. I'll go and look it up. No.
Well,
it was in a big box like this, and it was like $1 at Little's.
At Little in Killarney?
I don't know. Somewhere over there. Where did we go to Little's over there?
Killarney and Dingle.
Yeah, one of those. Maybe they just don't make it anymore. I don't know. Although it seemed like it would be like saying they're not making Lipton here, I would think. But anyway, have mercy. I did not mean to go on about this. That's just been driving me nuts ever since we came back because I've never been able to find it. Bandana Grandma, go have a cup of tea. She's a stash tea of Oregon. So I am a tea connoisseur. So if anybody has tea you want to send me, please feel free to send me tea. I love tea. I got Yorkshire from Mary the other day. Thank you, Mary. I sent you a thank you note, but you were out of town. I love English breakfast is my favorite flavor. But now that I've stopped sugar, I'm actually expanding my tea horizons. And I actually like your Earl Grey.
I love Earl Grey.
I used to not like it, but I like it now. Could it be Harney's? Oh my goodness. You guys, I'm just going to go nuts until I find that.
I had Earl Grey.
No, it's not the Harney's.
As a teenager, I went with a group from high school to Europe in 1986. And at London, they left these little breakfast things at the door of the hotel room, and it had Earl Grey, and that was the first time I ever had it. And I thought, I like this tea. If tea was like this, I would drink it more often. It was Twinings, when I really used to like that brand. Although there are other brands I've used too. So, wow. Oh, there's tons of tea stuff on here, dear. We're still live.
I don't know.
She's like, oh, is there tea?
I don't know.
Something like that gets under my skin too, Tara. We need to have a tea party. Bandana Grandma said that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, dingleberry tea. Who knows?
I don't think so.
Would it do good if you did a video on different teas? Because yes, then I could take it off on my taxes.
Yeah, but the way that you respond to tea, that would probably work well as a video.
I did not like Earl Grey tea, but now that I don't drink sugar in my tea, I actually am kind of liking it. It just gives it a little bit of different. Yes, I love red rose too, Laura. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, guys, we have to go do kitchen finishing. Please check out our cookbooks, 25% off right now, livingonadime.com. Thank you for joining us. And the Irish tea called Fraser. Okay, hold on. Let me go look real quick. Just a second. Fraser
She thought
tea.
she was wrapping it.
I don't know. Let's see. Is this it?
Yeah, I showed you that one earlier,
but that's a different package. Maybe they've changed their package. That wasn't the package. Let's see. Hold on. Huh. Maybe that was it. I'll go dig through my boxes and post it on the community tab, guys, if I find it. I don't know if I can find it or not. Stuff's pretty disheveled around our place. So anyway, no, I don't use honey. I need to stay off of all sugar. So livingonadime.com. Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter.
We hope you have a great weekend. Wish us luck on our finishing of the kitchen tonight, hopefully. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.